Smart contract cryptocurrencies have been dominating the crypto market, and for good reason. Their programmability makes it possible to create cutting-edge technologies like DeFi, NFTs, and metaverse worlds with in-game economies. Now, though the focus has been on Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, and the like, Fantom is a smart contract cryptocurrency that could just take everyone by surprise. Today, I'm going to give you a quick recap of what Fantom is, tell you about some of the project's most important updates, and why FTM's recent rally is only the beginning. I'll also let you know whether I will be adding it to my personal portfolio. Before we get spooky, I must fulfill my legal duty. I am not a financial advisor of any kind. Education and entertainment are the only things I can provide. Contact a financial advisor if you're trying to increase your wallet size. Now, if this channel is new to you, my name is Guy, and crypto content is what I brew. The Coin Bureau has every topic on tap, from coins to tokens to news and reviews with minimal hype and maximum facts. If you're looking to improve your crypto stats, subscribing to the channel and pinging the notification bell is the best way to do that. You can use the timestamps below to skip ahead if your time is running low. Watching until the end, though, will help the channel grow if you didn't already know. Right, that's it for my memorandum, so let's get spooky with Fantom. If you're unfamiliar with Fantom, here's what you need to know. Fantom was founded in 2018 by South Korean computer scientist An Byung-ik. Apologies, sir, if I've mangled the pronunciation there. He then left the project early on for unknown reasons. Now, the only remaining member of Fantom's original team is Michael Kong, who serves as the CEO and CIO of the Fantom Foundation, a non-profit based in the Cayman Islands which coordinates the development of Fantom. Fantom is famous because of its connection to DeFi architect Andre Cronje, who created Yearn Finance. Now, Andre was recruited by Michael in late 2018 to develop Fantom, and though Andre stepped back to become an advisor to Fantom in 2019, he recently returned to serve as one of Fantom's core developers. Fantom raised around $35 million between 4 ICOs in 2018, and Fantom's mainnet went live in 2019. In contrast with most cryptocurrencies, Fantom does not use a standard blockchain. Instead, it uses a directed acyclic graph, or DAG for short. Now, this architecture, along with Fantom's novel Lachesis consensus algorithm, allows it to process around 20,000 transactions per second. The asterisk here is that this TPS score only applies to basic transactions. Fantom's smart contract TPS is in the hundreds, and this is because it leverages the Ethereum virtual machine, which has speed limitations. The trade-off of doing this is that Ethereum developers can easily deploy their dApps on Fantom, and these Fantom dApps can be easily accessed by users with Ethereum web wallets such as MetaMask. Fantom consequently hosts dozens of popular DeFi protocols, including Curve Finance, Cream Finance, and Yearn Finance, which have a collective total value locked of over $5.4 billion, according to DeFi Llama. As far as I understand, the total value locked you find for Fantom on CoinMarketCap corresponds to Fantom's own in-house DeFi platforms. Fantom DeFi can be accessed from within the Fantom web wallet, and it basically involves using FTM as collateral to mint a synthetic stablecoin called FUSD, which can be used to buy over 170 synthetic assets, including stocks, commodities, and other cryptocurrencies. What's cool is that even staked FTM can be used as collateral in Fantom DeFi. And speaking of staking, Fantom lets you choose how long you want to lock up your FTM for, with the longest lockup yielding the highest reward. This is currently around 11% for validators and 9% for delegators for the maximum 1-year lockup period. While delegators only need to stake a minimum of 1 FTM, validators must stake a minimum of 500,000 FTM with a maximum self-stake of 7.5 million FTM. Validators also risk losing 100% of this stake if they try and manipulate the network. All changes to Fantom are decided via community governance, and voting can be easily done from within the Fantom web wallet. Fantom's governance process is just as clever as its other components. For example, Fantom allows FTM holders to rank their agreement with a proposal on a 4-point scale rather than a simple yay or nay vote. And better yet, Fantom has seen tens of millions of dollars in post-ICO investment from the likes of Alameda Research and Block Tower Capital. To top it all off, the Fantom Foundation's members also have institutional connections in Central Asia, which has allowed the project to secure some serious partnerships. Now, this barely scratches the surface of how legit Fantom is, and I strongly recommend watching my last video about the project if you haven't already. That's up there in the top right. It's only been 4 months since I last covered Fantom, but a lot has happened since then. So here are a few highlights. In July, the Fantom Foundation reported an 800% increase in total value locked in its DeFi protocols in less than 3 months. In August, Band Protocol became a Fantom validator. 2 weeks later, Chainlink integrated with Fantom to provide pricing data for Fantom's DeFi protocols. At the end of August, the Fantom Foundation announced it would be allocating 370 million FTM to developers building on Fantom. That's nearly $1 billion at FTM's current price. In September, the Coinbase wallet added support for native FTM, something which could foreshadow an FTM listing on the Coinbase exchange. Less than a week later, crypto custodian Fireblocks announced its support for both native and ERC20 FTM, opening the door to institutional investors. At the end of September, the Fantom Foundation announced the Artian NFT marketplace created by the one and only Andre Cronje. In October, OpenOcean announced that it had added Fantom's top dexes to its CeFi DeFi aggregator. Andre Cronje's Yearn Finance also officially deployed on Fantom. About a week later, the Fantom Foundation created a governance proposal to deploy Aave on Fantom, and it passed with over 99% voting in favor. Now, this deployment has yet to occur at the time of shooting this video. At the end of October, Formula One driver Pierre Gasly announced he would be the first celebrity to drop an NFT collection on Artian. The Fantom Foundation also announced that the Fantom blockchain had surpassed 1 million wallet addresses. And last but not least, the Fantom Foundation hosted the first ever Fantom Developer Conference in Abu Dhabi, which attracted hundreds of developers and investors. Now, all these updates have had a predictable effect on the price of FTM, which has gone up by more than 10x over the last 4 months. It looks like my $2 price prediction came true, and FTM still has a lot more room to the upside. This is because Fantom's market cap is medium-sized and its fundamentals are significantly stronger than most of the cryptocurrencies which currently outrank it. FTM's tokenomics are also seriously robust. All FTM coins allocated to Fantom's early investors, founders, and advisors finished vesting last November. What's interesting is that FTM's average price across its ICO was around 3 cents, with most FTM being sold at around 3.5 cents. This happens to be the exact price point where FTM topped out, which makes sense given cashing out at that price works out to a 100x profit for most of Fantom's ICO participants. Now, if you're curious about which cryptocurrencies had the highest ICO returns, well, I happen to have a video all about that, and it's up there in the top right. Anyways, the only FTM coins coming into circulation are coming from FTM's staking rewards. This is happening to the tune of about 500,000 FTM per day, which is just under $1.5 million of daily sell pressure. Now, this small amount of sell pressure is being easily offset by the demand for FTM coming from the growing number of Fantom users and investors. That said, there is likely some sell pressure coming from the Fantom Foundation's massive developer fund, though this seems to be minimal, as any FTM awarded to devs is vested monthly over 1 year. Come to think of it, this might be why FTM saw a correction at the end of October. In any case, more than half of FTM's circulating supply is being staked, and I'm sure most of it is being staked for more than the bare minimum. This reduction in available supply further increases FTM's ability to fly. Best of all, FTM has a maximum supply of 3.175 billion, which means inflationary issuance isn't eating away at its price action. Now, given these facts, my forecast for FTM for the remainder of this bull market is another 2 to 3x. It's very possible that FTM could pump higher, and this is all because of the project's promising roadmap. Although Fantom does not have an official roadmap, members of the Fantom Foundation have highlighted a few upcoming milestones on multiple occasions. Broadly speaking, the Fantom Foundation wants to continue expanding the Fantom community, continue developing Fantom's core technology, and continue forging partnerships with institutions. In terms of community expansion, the Fantom Foundation's developers believe in the "if you build it, they will come" mentality and don't really care about any kind of marketing. Even so, a July AMA with a few founders of the Fantom Foundation revealed that they want to continue sponsoring celebrities such as the aforementioned Formula One racer to bring attention to the project. The Fantom Foundation is also working to get FTM listed on as many exchanges as possible, and in my personal opinion, a Coinbase listing is only moments away. Not only that, but a few of the hedge funds backing Fantom are in the process of creating a, quote, Y Combinator for Fantom. Now, for those unfamiliar, Y Combinator is a startup accelerator famous for incubating multiple billion-dollar companies like Airbnb, Coinbase, and Dropbox. The fact that some hedge funds are doing the same for startups building on Fantom means there could be many more dApps deploying on Fantom, and not just clones of DeFi protocols on Ethereum. When you couple this startup accelerator with Fantom's billion-dollar developer fund, you have a serious recipe for mass adoption with minimal marketing, which is exactly what Fantom is going for. On the developer side, the Fantom Foundation's focus is on decentralization and scaling. Now, Fantom currently has only 60 validators, which makes it much more centralized than most cryptocurrencies. The Fantom Foundation is aiming to onboard between 1,000 and 2,500 validators in the coming years, but before it can do that, it has to address another decentralization issue: storage. At the Fantom Developer Conference, Fantom Foundation CEO and CIO Michael Kong explained that the size of the Fantom blockchain is growing very quickly due to the uptick in user activity. As I explained in my video about the fastest cryptocurrencies, blockchain size can compromise decentralization in the long run, because a smaller and smaller number of nodes can store the full transaction history. Fantom's devs are exploring solutions to this issue, such as taking some processes off-chain or pruning, aka deleting, old or unused blockchain data. If you ask me, I think Fantom should use a decentralized storage network like Arweave to store its transaction history the way Solana does, and you can learn more about Arweave using the link in the top right. Anyways, in the scaling department, Fantom devs have begun testing scaling solutions that could increase Fantom's transaction speeds by 10 to 100x, but note that this again applies to regular transactions. To increase smart contract transaction speeds, Fantom devs are hoping to finish the Fantom virtual machine as soon as they can. It will basically be an improved version of the Ethereum virtual machine. I will note, though, that it's not clear what the FVM's TPS will be. When it comes to institutional partnerships, the Fantom Foundation is focused on strengthening its presence in Central Asia, where the project has seen the most traction. As I mentioned earlier, a few members of the Fantom Foundation have close connections to institutions in the region, specifically Pakistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Afghanistan. As Michael explained in an interview with Amazon Web Services, Fantom is basically the only crypto project looking to forge partnerships with these countries, and it has succeeded in securing a partnership with each government. The Fantom Foundation is looking to expand those partnerships, particularly in the realm of supply chain tracking and central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. Now, besides the fact that a CBDC controlled by the governments in some of these countries is a terrifying prospect for obvious reasons, it sounds like these partnerships are having next to no impact on the price of FTM. The Fantom Foundation specified in its aforementioned July AMA that its institutional partners leveraged permissioned versions of Fantom's technology provided by the Fantom Foundation's enterprise arm, not Fantom's publicly available cryptocurrency blockchain. This isn't all that surprising, given that almost every other institutional partnership you see in cryptocurrency is structured in the same way. It's extremely rare to see an institution use a public cryptocurrency blockchain, especially governments. Now, this is a damn shame, because transparency for stuff like CBDCs, supply chains, and especially elections would go a long way towards repairing the trust in the government that's been broken in so many countries. This conveniently brings me to my concerns about Fantom, and my first concern has to do with just that, transparency. I'll start by saying that I know Fantom provides regular updates on its blog about what's going on with the project. The only problem is that there aren't any updates about critical information such as the current holdings of FTM by the Fantom Foundation and how that FTM is being spent. It would also be nice to know which wallets belong to the Fantom Foundation and team by labeling them on Fantom's FTM Scan blockchain explorer and how many validator nodes they are running. I say this because Michael explained in that interview with Amazon Web Services that the Fantom Foundation is in fact running some validator nodes, and this might actually be why Coinbase hasn't listed FTM yet. Michael also mentioned that the Fantom Foundation is using AWS to run its validator nodes, and so are a few of the other Fantom validators. Depending on how many Fantom nodes are relying on AWS, this could present a central point of failure for Fantom, but I reckon this is something Fantom developers are aware of. Now, on that note, another central point of failure for Fantom could actually be Andre Cronje himself. In case you haven't noticed, Fantom development is fairly dependent on what Andre does or doesn't do. For a long time, the Fantom Foundation denied this, but it seems to have accepted it ever since Andre came back to the project. You could argue that Andre's return to Fantom is the primary reason why FTM hit new all-time highs, whether directly due to the hype or indirectly due to the stuff he's been building on Fantom. This begs the question of what will happen to Fantom if Andre decides to leave again. Now, luckily, it looks like this is very unlikely. This is because Andre is obsessed with building cutting-edge crypto tech, and it's clear that the current lineup at the Fantom Foundation feels the same way. My theory is that Andre initially left Fantom to scratch that itch with DeFi, but he quickly realized how dependent DeFi is on degens who couldn't care less about the tech. This is based on what Andre said at the Fantom Developer Conference, quote, "They are liquidity locusts. They come in, they feed, they destroy, they leave." And this is why the Fantom Foundation is focused on developer incentives, not liquidity incentives. Now, to be clear, this doesn't mean that Andre believes Fantom is some amazing cryptocurrency. On the contrary. Andre says FTM is a shitcoin, and I'm not kidding. Quote, "Fantom is a shitcoin. We don't want to forget that, because as long as we remember that, it means we acknowledge that we have to work harder, and we have to do more work to prove to people that we're not." The crazy thing is that Andre calls Fantom a shitcoin, even though FTM has gone up by more than 100x over the last year, and even though Fantom has seen more than 1 million users, billions of dollars in market cap, and billions of dollars in total value locked. Imagine what Fantom will look like when Andre stops calling it a shitcoin. Fantom is a cryptocurrency that doesn't get nearly the amount of attention that it deserves. The funny thing is that FTM keeps pumping regardless of whether anyone's watching. That's because everyone working at Fantom has a firm understanding of fundamentals and the long-term value they create. This understanding comes from the fact that Fantom went live in the middle of the last bear market, where hype and marketing meant nothing. The Fantom team has worked hard since then, and the fruits of their labor are only starting to ripen. Fantom could unironically become one of the best smart contract cryptocurrencies out there, but only time will tell. Fantom faces a lot of competition, and it has a fraction of the funding, exposure, and adoption of most of its competitors. Now, for what it's worth, Fantom checks every box on my list, and the concerns I mentioned are laughable compared with the concerns I have about most other crypto projects. No cryptocurrency is perfect, and no cryptocurrency will ever be, but I dare say if Fantom continues its current trajectory, it could come pretty damn close, which is why I will be adding FTM to my portfolio. And more info will be in my newsletter that's linked to below. Now, that's just my 2 cents though, and it's your opinion now that I want to know. So, drop me a comment down below, and don't forget to like the video before you go. Subscribing to the channel is a good idea too, and be sure to ping that notification bell so you know when the next video hits the tube. If you're looking for more stuff to do, I've got something just for you. Coin Bureau Clips is where you'll find behind the scenes, original flicks, and interviews. My Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram are where I share memes and my current crypto moods. My Telegram channel will keep you up to date with the crypto market, and my weekly newsletter can help you out whether you're an expert or just getting started. I've even got a merch store where you can get hoodies, beanies, and tees with crypto themes. It's a good place to go on a shopping spree. Links to all these resources and more are down in the description just below me. Thank you so much if you're still here. Your dedication fills me with cheer. I'll see you all tomorrow, so don't go anywhere.